What is up? So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Evan Ramos, and I just want to start out this video by giving whoever is watching a huge thank you. If y'all don't know, this is my first YouTube video. My main platform beforehand was TikTok, and so I'm super used to making TikTok videos, but I've never really actually recorded any content where it's me being just raw. And so I really appreciate the fact that you took the time out of your day to click on this video and watch whatever bullshittery that I do with my life. So I just want to give y'all a huge thank you, and I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get on into the video. So today we are going to go and hit back. And this video is going to be more so focused on like deadlifting. And I'm going to kind of walk y'all through how I deadlift, as well as giving y'all like my deadlifting story and how I started deadlifting versus where I ended up versus where I am now. And that's a lot of information in itself, because I learned a lot by learning how to deadlift. And I feel like I can give y'all some of my knowledge that I learned whenever I was making a lot of mistakes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to kind of give y'all a couple of highlights of my normal back day routine, because that's going to be in there as well. I deadlift once a week and only on back days. So let's get into it whenever I get to the gym. Just a quick little thing before I actually get to the gym, just to let y'all know, previous to about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I don't really remember, I hadn't deadlifted in 2 months. And previous to those 2 months, the most that I would do for sets of singles was 315. I don't really know my max, mainly just because I haven't really like tried to max out. But today, we're going to go for single sets of 320. Well, the reason that seems like a big jump, over the past like 4 weeks I've been deadlifting. I started out, and in 1 week I hit 295. The next week I was able to hit 300. The next week I was able to hit 305. The next week I was able to hit 310. The next week I was able to hit 315. And I hit 315 last week. So this week, we are going to try to attempt 320. So I hope that goes well, and I hope I don't die. And that's just a little bit of a, you know, some context so y'all know what I'm actually going for. So I am currently inside of the gym parking lot waiting to go inside, and I forgot to drink my pre-workout. So I'm going to drink my pre-workout and kind of give you guys a backstory on how I started deadlifting. So I first learned how to deadlift whenever I was in junior high, and I was in athletics. I was basically told, you're going to pick it up with your legs, and then you're going to pick it up with your back. And that's all I knew. I didn't know about engaging your core. I didn't know about engaging your lats. I didn't know about pushing the ground away from you. I didn't know about not rotating your shoulders forward. I didn't know about not contracting your shoulders backward. I didn't know about any of that. I just did what I knew how to do. I walked up to the bar and I picked it up. That kind of evolved into my deadlift form for like the rest of my high school career to like the middle of my freshman year of college. And the most I was ever able to deadlift for like multiple reps was like 315. And I kind of did a semi-sumo stance. It was weird, but all I know is I would extend my legs, and then after I extended my legs, I would pick it up with my lower back. And that's what I would do. I really have no idea what I was doing. It all came to bite me in the ass one day whenever I was deadlifting at the University of North Texas Rec Center. And I was deadlifting with a couple of friends of mine, and I ended up tearing my rhomboid. Yeah, sucked pretty bad. Now, the cool thing about a torn rhomboid is if you tear it, you can still work out as long as you don't do any heavy compound lifts like deadlifting. So I could still work out, which was good, but I didn't deadlift for another like 6 months, and I started deadlifting again, and I had to completely relearn how to deadlift. I made some friends, and they told me that I should do conventional, because conventional was supposedly better than sumo. And so I started doing conventional and realized that it was infinitely harder, because, you know, conventional sucks. No, it doesn't. It's goated. But that's how I started doing conventional. And after a while, I started noticing some strength in my deadlift, and I was finally able to do like 225 for like 3 or 4 reps, and 225 moved up to 350. 350 moved up to like, wait, no, not 350. Backtrack. 225 moved to 250. 250 went to 275. 275 went to 300. 300 ended up being 315 soon enough. And that was as of before 2.5 months ago. And like I said, I didn't deadlift for 2.5 months because of drum core. And if you want to know what that is, I'll actually do a whole separate video on drum core / DCI if y'all want. I started deadlifting again every single week after I got back, and I started out with 290. For the first week, I was able to hit 290 for one. For the second week, I was able to hit... What the hell? For the first week, I was able to hit 290 for one. The second week, I hit 295 for one. The third week, I hit 300 for one. The fourth week, I hit 305 for one. And then the fifth week, I was supposed to go for 310. But 310 felt light, so I decided to push it, and I ended up pulling 315. And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I pulled 315 last week. I'm going to go for 320 today. And so today, we're going to go for a 320 deadlift, and I'm going to kind of give y'all some pointers as far as deadlifting is concerned at the same time, just so I can share the knowledge that helped me increase my deadlift strength so fast. Like I said, I've only been deadlifting correctly now for about 6 months, because I tried to avoid deadlifting as much as possible, mainly because of the fact that I had torn my rhomboid. But after it healed, I avoided it for a bit, and I finally decided to start doing it again as of like, you know, 7-8 months ago. And I'm going to kind of give y'all some tips that I think are valuable that definitely help me increase my deadlift strength over time. So this is how we're going to do this. I'm going to give y'all one tip, and then we're going to go do something, and then I'm going to give y'all another tip, and then we're going to go do something. So the first tip that I have for you guys, really reflect on why you're deadlifting. Are you deadlifting for back health? Are you deadlifting for your legs? Are you deadlifting to hit your back? Like, what exactly are you deadlifting for? I like to separate what people deadlift for into 2 categories. Are you deadlifting for strength, or are you deadlifting for health? I don't recommend deadlifting for strength. However, I do recommend deadlifting for health. Because whenever people think strength, they typically resort to putting all of my effort into picking this thing up off of the ground. They tend to neglect form. And when deadlifting, form is what's going to make or break you. Deadlifting is by far one of the most dangerous lifts, mainly because you could do a lot of different things. You could force a slip disc. You could tear an ACL. You could get a torn rhomboid. You can get a torn bicep. You can dislocate a shoulder. You can tear your rotator cuff. There's a lot of different things and a lot of different injuries that could take place whenever you deadlift. That's why I like to focus on deadlifting for health. Because you focus on deadlifting for health, you focus on back health, you focus on core strength, you focus on a lot of the key principles whenever it comes to form. Deadlifts done right is they're very, 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 very healthy. It's very good for your spine, very good for your lower back, and it's very good for your mental health. You all know why. Deadlifting for health will ultimately contribute to getting more strength, and before you know, you'll be deadlifting 405. Like, I don't deadlift 405 yet, but before you know it, you'll end up getting to those higher numbers. Like, I had no idea that I was going to go from 225 to 315, attempting 320 in a matter of like 7 months. Like, that's insane to me. So if you just stick to your key principles, stick to your form, and stick to deadlifting for health, I can guarantee you're going to have a much better experience with your journey as a lifter than people who deadlift for just strength. Surprisingly, there's a deadlift platform open. This is rare, so I'm gonna go ahead and get warmed up. I'm gonna include some footage of that for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. We've ran into a slight problem with the Evos, so the part where the actual earpiece like swivels, one of those came loose, and so it's like rattling a lot due to the amount of bass that they have, and so I'm actually gonna have to go home and fix those after this workout, but that's why I do have my Beats. So we're gonna be using those for now. Now we're gonna get into deadlifting. I spent like a solid 30 minutes trying to fix those just now, but we're gonna have to do with what we got for now. So let's finally do it. So my back just did this super gnarly pop and it felt so good. I have no idea if it's a bad thing or if it's a good thing. All I know is my back feels super good right now, and it's 315 time. Like I said before, 315 was the highest I've ever gone because of the injury and because of the fact that I haven't deadlifted in over like 2.5 months heavy the way I'm finally doing it again. So we're gonna attempt 315. If this goes well, considering how I'm feeling today, we're gonna go for 320 if I feel good, but if not, it's perfectly fine because I'm satisfied with anything above 310 at this point. So it's 315 time. $315 felt super good. It moved. Like, 315 hasn't moved that well in over like 3 months. So just because the fact that it moved that well, I'm very, very confident with 320. We're gonna go for it, and then we're gonna move on to the second tip. as y'all can see, we did hit 320. I'm very, very satisfied with that. I actually failed it the set before, and I got like super mad, and so I guess like all the adrenaline started pumping, and then boom, it went up. But either way, it went up, so I'm not complaining. But the second tip that I have for you guys, watch the pros. Like I'm talking, watch guys like Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, all those professional like strongmen, especially strongmen and powerlifters. Watch the way that they deadlift and try to copy what they do. Because if you notice, whenever you watch them, you will see that they have all the good habits, they do everything correctly, and so that's who you want to look up to. And in doing that, you're going to notice that deadlifting isn't so much an upper back thing, but it's more of a whole entire core thing. So what the second tip, what you want to do, what they do, you want to make sure you're full of air. Think of yourself as a Coke can, right? Whenever a Coke can is full, it's hard to crush. But whenever it's empty, it crushes easily under any amount of pressure. And so if you're like that Coke can, you want to be full. Because no matter how much force you put on there, it's going to take a good amount before you pop. So fill yourself up with air, brace and contract your lats, and that is how you get that stiff core that you want. And I trust that that weight will go up. Whatever amount that you're doing, if you're used to doing it, it's going to go up much easier. So that's my second tip. Just be a damn Coke can. We're going to transition into the rest of my back workout now. So we're going to go ahead and start off with lats. We're going to go ahead and warm up on this good old cable machine. Honestly, the best thing to do when you're warming up is do a cable machine, because it's a restricted range of motion, restricted bar path. So it's not like you can have a bad form. You can, but like it's hard. You have to like actually try. So let's do some lats. We just finished warming up our lats, and we're feeling pretty good. I'm not feeling weak at all today. So now we're gonna head into the actual exercise. And I am warning you, I'm currently working through a muscle imbalance. So if my form looks a little wonky, then that's why. I hope that you will understand that I am human. So let's do this. All right, now that we've got done with some lat pull downs and some lat rows, whatever you want to call them, single arm, lat focus rows, I don't know what the heck they're called. But now that we've got that done, it's time for another tip for you guys. Don't think about picking up the weight. Think about pushing the floor down. So this one's more so mental. Don't think of the weight as something that you grab onto and you pick up and you set down. No, the weight is an extension of you. And so if the weight is an extension of you, you're not really picking anything up. You're pushing down. And so don't pick the weight up. Push the floor down, and I promise you that will make your deadlift game that much better. So we've got some more rows to do, and then we're gonna go ahead and do some actual rows for, of course, traps and everything else. So let's do it. And that concludes the back day. So, forgot to tell you guys, the reason you don't see me doing a lot of exercises is because I only do one warm-up set, 2 working sets. And those 2 working sets are ass kickers. So, that's why you don't see me do a lot, because I really don't need to. Because if I did, I would hurt myself. But, without further ado, I'm going to give you guys the last deadlift tip that I have. The last deadlift tip that I have for you guys is, honestly, just warm up your back. Like, whenever I started warming up my back before I would do my deadlifts, the whole game changed. Like, I experienced like a 50-pound increase. So, deadlifting isn't just picking it up. Deadlifting is a full back movement. So that means warming up your lower back, warming up your traps, warming up your rhomboids, warming up your lats. It consists of all of that. So do like a set of some lat pull downs, do a set of rows, do a set of some rear delt raises, or whatever you like to do for rear delts, and go ahead and do some back extensions. Because I guarantee you, if you implement that in your warm-up routine, whenever you deadlift, you will experience an insane amount of strength whenever you actually go and apply it to, deadlifting. Because, of course, you have to have core strength, you got to have back strength, but the most important part is making sure that everything here is stabilized. And so that's the main reason why you definitely want to warm up. That's my last tip for you guys. If you want me to do a whole video on how to actually deadlift, I'm more than willing to, and I will give y'all a full tutorial how to properly deadlift, because this one was like only tips and stuff that's really going to help you. So we're done. So let's go home, let's get some food, and let's get on the game. I love to play Fortnite, by the way. Call me a 10-year-old all you want. I don't care. It's a goated game. So I'll see y'all at the house. Had to make a short little stop. My mom texted me and told me she wanted some Little Debbie Star Crunches. So we love Mom. So we're going to H-E-B right now to get some Little Debbie Star Crunches. So there is going to be a delay on the food cooking part of the video. So just stay tuned, I promise you. I almost forgot. I have one more tip for you guys. The last deadlift tip that I have is don't be scared. Like, that's the biggest thing I see when it comes to people deadlifting is they're scared. They're scared of a couple of things. They're scared of failing, or they're scared of hurting themselves, or they're scared because it's heavy. Don't let any of those things get in your way. In the end of the day, you're stronger than the bar. Like, the bar is just an inanimate object that can't think for itself. So just because it's heavy doesn't mean it won't move. So now we're going home. Oh yeah. And that pretty much concludes the video. I'm filming in my bathroom right now because the rest of my family is kind of asleep. So that is pretty much it. I hope that those tips that I included in the video for you guys can really benefit y'all's deadlift. And if y'all want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comments. My business email is going to be in the description, so y'all can email me with video ideas, any questions, comments, concerns that you might have that you might want me to do a video over, and I am completely willing to do so. So, with that being said, as always, God bless and peace. See y'all in the next video.